Hi, it's Jeffrey Douglas. We are out today in San Diego, and we're just testing out our first impressions of the Gazelle Hub Tent, the 3-man version. The reason I bought this is we sometimes need some extra room in camp to put chairs away at night and to get in out of the cold. So if you have the Mr. Buddy heater, it's a great way to not have to get up into the roof tent and have some place to go at in the evening time. And so when we've been looking around, we've got the REI Kingdom 6 tent, which is a really fabulous tent, but it takes quite a bit of time to set up. And with the Gazelle Hub Tent, you can see this is our first attempt at it, and it literally just took a couple of minutes to set it up and have it deployed. It's a much better situation in the REI Kingdom tent because, again, these things that take a lot of effort, they just don't seem to happen. So the philosophy behind this is it gives us something to get out of the weather. It gives us something to get out of and have some shade. The tent seems to have adequate windows and ventilation. We can use it as with our pet toilet if we need to, so we don't have to take along an additional tent for that. The floor is removable, so you can actually do a shower in there in a pinch, although the 3-man version is not really high enough for me to stand up in. But I didn't want to go to the 4-man version because the length of the tent is just too long to get it into the rover without taking too much valuable space up. So this was kind of a compromise size-wise. The nice thing about it is it lays in the back seat of the rover across the vehicle with no issue. Still has a little bit of room actually, so it's very stowable, although a little bit on the heavy side at 31 pounds. So the quality of the tent is for the prices is fairly impressive. I mean, this is not a 4-season waterproof tent by any stretch of the imaginations, but the stitching appears to be fairly good. I did notice a few loose strings here and there, but overall the quality appears very good for this price range. The floor is removable, which is nice if you want to take the floor out if you're in an area where you don't want to mess up the floor. So once again, this is Jeffrey Douglas. This is just a first impression video. We're leaving in a couple weeks for an extended trip, so we got this for that trip. So we'll do some more videos as we've had some more experience with it, and of course once we get to around a year or so, we'll do a more long-term review for you. But so far, I'm initially impressed. Hopefully this is helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And remember, get outdoors.
everyone. So I wanted to do an initial review on the tent that I'm taking on my Pacific Crest Trail thru hike because I've never done extensive backpacking in a freestanding tent before. I'll be using a Zpacks Solplex tent. I've set it up several times and it seems to be really durable and easy to set up, but I'm still a little nervous since I'm not very comfortable with it. So I just wanted to hop on here, show you my first initial thoughts on it and see if I still feel the same after my hike. So here we have the tent pretty much set up. It's been crumpled in its bag for so long that it looks like some flapping seaweed, but it is not. It is my shelter. I am still trying to figure out how to make these surfaces smooth. I have many nights to perfect it, but I wanted to show you real quickly how I set this tent up. So there are 8 stakes that come with it, and I started by putting stakes in all 4 corners. So around here, one on that side, then obviously over here. And on two of the corners, there's the Zpacks logo, so it makes it easy to, to find the corners. And then once those were, in the ground, I came over to where the door is. There's only one on this tent, and this is where the first trekking pole goes. This is supposed to be the taller trekking pole. I'm trying to see under there where the pad goes, where the trekking pole just rests. So once I got the pole in a decent spot, then I took this cord and put that stake in. And I came to this side, did the same thing over here. But with this trekking pole, this is the smaller, the shorter of the two. Then I staked that in. So once I had those 6 stakes in, then I went around and just tightened, whatever corners I thought needed to be tightened. Especially over here, it keeps dipping for me. So I think I just have to keep tightening this little section to achieve like a flatter surface. But that's going to take some learning on my part. So once I was pretty satisfied with the position of everything, then I came around with the last 2 stakes in on these sides of the tent. Oh, and see, that one already came out. Oh, the wind. So, non-disclosure, I totally didn't tighten these too much since this is just practice, but here you have this. So let's look inside. So this tent does have storm doors. It's a little windy right now, obviously, so it might be hard for me to show you with my one hand with the wind. But here on this side, as you can see, there's like a little loop. And on this door, you fasten it by putting that through the loop. That gives 1 point of closure right there. And then if we go down here, you see where the stake is. There are these like this custom-made metal hook right here. That gets pulled up to these little clips. There's one on this door and one on this door. So that's just another means of closure in case there is a storm. But let's get inside. I love the bright yellow board. It makes it easy to see. Okay. Alright, so here we are. It is definitely small. It obviously is a one-man's tent. Oh, so I do need to note that I did get the camo material because it is a little bit heavier than the other colors available on Zpacks. And that is because it makes it a little bit less see-through. Because this material can be a bit see-through at times. So I got the camo, but also because clearly if you're wearing camouflage, no one can see you. And that's the joke of the century, right? So one of the cool features of this tent is you see this mesh panel, I'll call it right here. What's supposed to happen is the condensation will fall down here. You probably can't see what's going on. But instead of it coming inside the tent onto the ground, it's supposed to just go through this mesh. So it's supposed to leave as much water out of your tent as possible, which is exactly what every hiker wants. So I am almost 5'4", almost, and I'm sitting straight up, and I still have room for my head, and if I'm like changing or something, there's still more room for me in here. And so I thought maybe I'd lay down. Okay, so if I'm laying my head here, there's still a lot of space. See, I can make this tighter in my setup, but here is how much room I have. Look down here, I still have a lot of room at my feet. I can even probably fit my pack right at the bottom and, get in the practice of setting my feet up on my pack for elevation. But it's pretty cozy in here. I like it. Like I said, I still have to get better at setting this thing up. So if you are like a Zpacks expert watching this, please don't cringe yet. So overall, I think I'm going to really like the tent, except I really need to keep practicing putting it up because I'm clearly not getting certain parts as tight as they need to be and other parts are too tight, which means I'm not utilizing like the bathtub and all of that to the fullest, which is what it's meant for. So I'm just gonna keep practicing, but yeah, I really think I'm gonna like this tent because first of all, it's really lightweight. It's about a little under 1.2 pounds with everything, with even the bag, the tent itself, and the stakes. There's 8 titanium stakes that come with it, or that I bought with it. So yeah, that's like extremely light. You can barely feel it in your hand when you're holding it all together. And it seems really durable. But yeah, once again, I just need to keep practicing putting it up and then breaking it down. But yeah, it seems really cozy and I feel comfortable in here. And because it's camouflage, maybe the bears won't be able to see me. I'll tell my mom that and it'll make her feel a little bit better. Not like they can smell or anything. So I set this tent up and I showed you my C+ job, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah. So what makes this tent so awesome is that it's made out of DCF. It's called Dyneema composite fabric. And basically what that means to me is that there's a very high strength to weight ratio. So these things are super durable, but super light at the same time. And they're supposed to be pretty waterproof, but we'll see after I put some use in it, especially in the rain. I'm sure there'll be some nights. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts. Like I said, I don't have much to say about it just yet, but I'm very curious to see how I'm going to feel about it when I've been sleeping in this, my home, my humble abode for a few months or whatever. And if it's just miserable, then REI has lots of tents, but I've just heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm actually excited to try it out. I don't think it's going to be too small for me. I think it'll be just right, and I'm really excited about how light it is, because I have some other little heavy things, so if I can just lighten my pack in any way, that's awesome. This is one of those, so I'm pretty stoked. But thank you guys for tuning in, and if you have any tips, please let me know, because I can clearly use them. See you guys out in the